Okay, I'm going to start by making a quiz, and I'm going to make it under more quadratics. I already have quadratics quiz 1, so I'm going to create quadratics quiz 2. So under classwork, so I'm in grade 11 college math, under classwork here, I'm going to create a new, up here, create. And I'm going to create a quiz assignment. Okay, down here, I'll call it quadratics right here, quadratics, quiz 2. Okay, and I'll put a sentence, please complete the quiz, which is for lessons D3 and D4. You only have one try. Only have one attempt. Okay, down here, it already gives you like a form. I just click on this form. It gives you kind of a template. And in here, I'm going to change the name quadratics quiz. Whoops. I'm going to go quadratics quiz. Quiz 2. Sometimes this changes already here, but it didn't in this case. So I'll just call it quadratics quiz 2. And the first question is a multiple choice. But then I'm going to enter over here. So I'm going to go over here to the settings. Now note, even though I'm working, this is all is here. Like you could save it as a draft. Here I'll show you later on how to adjust this after I do the quiz. So I'll show you how to adjust all the items here. So this stuff's still up here. I'm just going to go back to the quiz. And now I'm going to go switch over here to settings. So see 1, 2, 3, 4, the little gear settings. So I like to start off with the quizzes. I like to start off with the one on the right. Make this a quiz, so it already automatically puts it to a quiz. Okay, locked mode. I don't turn the lock mode on. I think that lock mode is more when you have a class set. Okay, I do not immediately return after each submission. So I click on this one. I would love the kids to get their responses back right away, but when I tested it, they will get the answers and they can email those answers to other kids. So later, after most of the kids submit it, I will manually return it to them. So later after manual. And I don't mind, respondents can see the mixed questions, they can see the correct answers and the point values. So that's fine. Okay, presentation. So show progress bar, I don't mind that. So they can show how far they've got to go. Here, shuffle the question order. So I click on that. So I want it in a different order. So all the questions aren't in the same order. Show link to submit another response. That doesn't really apply. I'll keep it there. So I don't have a link or anything for that. And then general, collect email addresses. You want that. Response receipts. If response, no, I don't put that. I just leave the collect email. I think I had trouble with this as well. Okay, so I had trouble with this response receipt, so I leave it off. Okay, and I just collect the email addresses as I get it. I restrict users to PV&C. Now here, I limit to only one shot. I don't want them to do it multiple times. And respondents can edit after submit. No, I just want one response. See summary chart and text responses. No. So I just limit to one response, restrict the users, and collect the email address. And again, the presentation, show the bar. See, there's nothing, no link, so it disappears. So it's just those two. And here, make this a quiz. I want that on. Don't want to return it. I want it later. I'm going to click and do it later. And then I save this. And all this is fine to be on. So here I've created a question in Word. I like Word because I'm so used to or familiar with it. So I've created this question in Word. Now I want to create a picture of this. So what I do is I go here to the start here, and I go here and I look for software that'll help me turn it into a picture. And there is one software that I use. And let me just find it here, and I'll click Paint. So I found Paint was very simple. I just picked it, like when I first started this, I picked it randomly. I have it here as well, and it's right on the front. So I pick Paint. I open this Paint up. I go New here. So I just click on New. And it's going to create a new project. It's pretty neat. It's fairly simple to use. Okay, I go over here to my Word. And let's say this is the same question twice. Here I just made it bigger. So I'll show you how to do this one. And if you wanted to set up like A, B, C, D like this, you can as well. So I look at this and I hit the print screen button. It's PRTSC. So it makes a copy of the screen. So it's called the print screen button and it's on your keyboard. You hit it. So I pushed it. Now I go over to Paint. Okay, and I bring it here, and then I want to paste it in here. So it's either Control V. Let's see if that works. Control V. No, it doesn't. Oh, it did. Control V to bring it in, or so I held the Control and I hit V. Or let's undo this, and I'll show you what else you can do. So I'll just do a new one. So new. Don't save changes. And here you right click. So you right click on this and you do paste. So either way, Control V or paste. Now I want this question right here. So I'm hoping that the letters are big enough. If not, I've got the same question here. So what I'll do is I'll use this crop. So 1, 2 here, crop. I'll bring this down. I'll bring this up. And I'll bring this over. And I'll bring this over. And I just want to make a picture of this. I'm going to crop it. And when I'm done, I go over here to the right and I crop. I go done and it crops it. Now there's the question I want to use. It has the squares, the nice layout. So I go here and I go save as. Now I need a folder to put it. I save as an image. And I've been saving these under pictures. It just goes there. See, it goes to the pictures. It goes this PC pictures. And I right click and this will be pictures for Quadratic Quiz 2. So I'm going to create a new folder. So I right click, folder, Quadratic Quiz 2. I go in here. Oops, I think I already have it. Do you still want to merge? No. So I'll call it Quad 2 or something. So I'll rename it because I already have a Quad Quiz for another class, Quad 2. Okay, for Quadratics Quiz 2, I'll go in here and I'm just going to call it 1. Randomly call it 1. I go back to here and I want to insert that picture. See, so right here you can insert a picture. You click here, you browse, and then you go to your picture. So right here, picture. So goes there, and you got to find Quad 2, that folder I created. You can always create this folder earlier too. Quad 1 or Quad 2. Okay, I pick this. So I pick the one I just created. Oh, it inserts my question. It's legible. Okay, I put my options in. A, you can pick B, you can pick C, and you pick D. See, those are my A, B, C, D that I selected. I don't want another option. I want to make it a required question. So I go here. I create an answer key. So I go answer key. And in the answer key, I want to make this 1 point. And then they expand that. Hopefully I get it. It's D. Because it's 3 times that, 4 times 4 is 16, 3 times 3 is 9. It's the last one. And then it's done. You could also shuffle, so you could shuffle the order of these answers, but I don't like shuffling them. There's usually a reason I put them in this order. One last thing I should here write down what the question is. It's just expand the following. Forgot to give it a little title up here in the multiple choice. Expand the following, and the kids will see this exactly like that. Now I'm going to create the next question. I'm just going to go plus here. So this question here will be the height of a ball dropped from a cliff can be modeled by the equation below. Whoops, make sure I get my spelling here. By the equation below, where h is the height. Whoops. H is the height in meters. I'll just put in brackets m, and t is the time and I'll put s. What is the height after 2 seconds? And this time, since this is my grade 11 college class, I'll even give them the clue. I'll go t equals 2. Usually I wouldn't do it, But for this group, I'm going to give it to them. Now, I need to put the equation here. So in here, I have to insert the equation. Well, we're going to go back, and I typed it. So I typed it in Word right here. There's the equation. H equals negative 5t squared plus 100. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hit print screen. I'm going to go switch over to this paint, and that old item is still there. I'm going to go new. And I don't want to save it. Don't save. Again, I'm going to right click, paste. Now I'm going to crop. So I'm going to hit that crop there. I'm going to bring it down to here. Now I've had trouble before where I left that line or that cursor there. Just be careful with that. You might have to do it again in case you do that by accident. And I'll crop that right down here. And I'll crop it over here. And here. Put a little bit higher. And then I'm done. So I've got my equation. Then I go here to menu, save as, image. Okay, remembers where the last one was, the number 1. This is number 2 for question 2. I go save. Go back to the software here. I'm going to insert an image. Browse. There's number 2 that I picked out. Remember the last one. There's my equation. Now I'm going to put my answer. So let's take a look. 60 meters. 80 meters this time, 100 meters, and 120 meters. I'm going to continue with this quiz, and I'll come back to it later when I'll maybe try to do 8 questions. When I do something a little bit more difficult, I will pause it. Again, first I'll make sure I get the answers right, so I'll put it that it's required. I'll put the answer key, and I believe this one I worked out before was 80. When you put 2 in there, 2 times 2 is 4. It is 80, and I'm make sure the point value is 1. So now I've got 2 questions. So far I did the first one, second one. It tells me there's 2 point values, 2 up here, 2 total point values for this question and this question. So I will continue this on the next video.